Have you ever used this glitch? Well, if you have, you might just be a noob, because this is a glitch that you will never see a pro using. So if you want to become a pro, you want to use one of these 5 instead. Starting off with a glitch that is cheaper than any other in the game, coming in at only 50 gold. And of course, I'm talking about the hinge glitch. Now, if you want to build this, it's incredibly easy to make. All you got to do is place a chair, grab yourself a hinge, which is only 50 gold, and place it right there. And now when you jump, as you can see, you are totally stuck. Now, if you're smart, you'll also place this with anchor mode disabled, but as you can see, when I delete the chair, I can already fly. Now, this is a glitch that pretty much any pro will use when they are starting out on a new account, because to be honest, this is just simply the cheapest one in the game that is consistent at making money. Now, the way you can steer this thing is by either using shift lock mode or just going in first person and looking around, and as you can see, I can now change the direction I'm flying in. And all you gotta do to fly is simply hold jump. Now, one thing to note is that you do want to use the right bundle. Right now, I'm using the man bundle, which seems to be working fine, but it doesn't work with every single one of them. And sometimes you will get a stage that will just simply kill you. So now that you can make a little bit of money, you can get ready to make the next glitch. It costs about 4,000 gold to make, which is not cheap, but trust me, it is 100 times better than any other glitch like it. And to build it, you will need to buy plane parts and a magnet. And then we already have every single block we need. All we have to do to build it is place ourselves a pilot seat, grab the magnet that we just got, make sure we place it just like that. Then we're gonna go ahead and reuse the hinge, and we're gonna place that on the headrest just like that. Then we're gonna grab a titanium rod, we're gonna place that on the hinge. And if you did everything right, that right there is already the glitch done. Now, all you gotta do is simply press F to activate the magnet, and this right here is by far the easiest to control magnet glitch in the entire game. Now, as you can see, I am barely moving if I'm just standing still, but if I'm tapping forward, as you can see, I start very slowly, actually not very slowly, very quickly moving towards where I'm looking. And as you can see, this thing is incredibly easy to use. And as you can also see, we are already about to very quickly reach the end, because this right here is literally one of the best glitches at just simply making money in the game. Now, right here at the end, and I did get a little bit unlucky and bounced off the wall right there, but as you can see, just simply tapping forward, we just made it to the end. It will also give me maximum gold. Very close to it, let's see. Okay, we got 180. It's not max, but it is almost max. So now that we have some good ways of making money, we can start making money for which we don't even have to use our brain. Now, sadly for this glitch, it does help to be on the white team, so unless this guy lets me in, I'm gonna have to server hop. All right, so now that I'm on the white team, let's get building. And actually, building this is incredibly easy. And the only thing that we're gonna have to buy that we didn't already have is gonna be a couple of springs. All right, so we're gonna place a block, and then we're gonna go ahead and place a block underground and also above ground. Now, we're gonna turn this into that one noob grinder, looking like a little plus sign, but trust me, this is not going to be the noob grinder. This is going to be much, much better than that. Then next up, we're going to go ahead and grab a jet turbine, making sure that it's facing upwards with a pilot seat on that. And that right there is pretty much the entire glitch done. So what we're going to go ahead and do, we're going to go ahead and sit in this chair. We're going to just select everything, unanchor, wait a second for everything to sit right down. And we're going to just press F, and we're going to let this go all the way until it runs out of fuel. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that for this glitch, you do kind of want to have all the tools. So yeah, right now we're going to go ahead and grab our screwdriver tool. And when we run out, we're going to select everything and we're going to anchor it off. Then we're going to go ahead and grab a different block. And right here on the bottom, we're going to in the center place that block. Now, as you can see, it ended up all the way over there, but trust me, that is fine. We're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a spring, and we're just simply going to go ahead and place this, making sure to rotate it so it's actually facing downwards there, just like so. And then we're going to jump down to the very bottom. We're going to go to this block that we previously marked. We're going to place the bottom half on that, just like so. All right, so then we're going to go ahead and select all, and we're going to unanchor and also set the stiffness to 1. And actually, this is going to take a second, but it's going to very slowly be falling down. So it seems like it's going a little bit fast. I'm going to set it to all right, I set the number to 5, and with that, it is very slowly falling, which is exactly what we want. Okay, come on, come to Papa. All right, there it is. Perfect, just like so. That is exactly what you want to see. And actually, all we're going to go ahead and do now is just simply anchor everything off. We can go ahead and delete everything but the spring. And now that we have this spring right here, this one is a little bit special because this right here is going to be the vehicle we will drive to the end with. And pretty much, to to be able to do so, all we're going to go and have to do is simply place ourselves a pole that is exactly 10 blocks high. And we're going to go ahead and build a pole that is going to be going like this, just like so. Now we're going to go ahead and move this thing so that way it's on the pole. Make sure it's straight. There you go. And now I'm going to go ahead and set my movement tool to 2.2. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to be cloning this for every single one of these. Now, this right here is where you can make some cool adjustments. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and place a butter block in between, actually on this side, just like so. Place a chair just right there. Also going to go ahead and place a purple candy right here. Now, if you don't have this, you can also use jetpacks or just don't use anything, build a little bit of a ramp, but that's going to allow me to sit down in the chair. So now all I got to do is select all of this stuff and just simply start cloning this. All right, so there it is. That right there is our entire gold grinder done. As you can see, all we got to do now is simply go ahead, eat a candy, jump in one of the chairs, and I forgot to unanchor everything, so unanchor everything, sit on one of the chairs, and press the glue block. Everything is going pretty good. I mean, actually, the number, what is this set to? This seems to be pretty much perfect. The stiffness is currently set to 5. And as you can see, I can literally do whatever I want right now. I don't have to touch the keyboard or make sure to perfectly fly it to the end. I am literally just slowly heading to the end without having to do anything. The idea is that this stage right here is the only one that can kill us. But there's only one thing that's better than making money without having to do much, and that is making money without having to do anything. We already have almost all the ingredients to make it. The only thing you will need to get is portals, but that is just a simple quest. Now, all we will do is simply place a wheel with a pole attached to it that is 108 studs long. So we're gonna go ahead, 108, just like so. Then we go ahead and place another wheel, this time facing downwards. And actually, we're gonna move this thing up by 1 block. And now all we have to do is simply add the portal. So we're gonna go ahead to the side, place this a couple blocks out on each side, just like so. 3 blocks long, 3 blocks long. I think we're gonna have to scale it into the actual wheel. And then on the sides here, we're gonna place portals. And actually, believe it or not, this is gonna be the exact same portal system that we're gonna use for the best AFK farm in the entire game. So make sure you built this. All right, we're gonna paint one of the portals a different color, and this right here is the first part done. Now we're gonna build the next part, and actually, the next part is going to be incredibly simple. We're going to just simply place ourselves a block with 2 portals to the side, just like so. Oh, oops, that's in my head. 2 portals to the side, just like so. One of these is going to be red, just like the other one. Then right here, we're going to go ahead and place a jet, and to that, we attach a pilot seat. And that right there is the entire thing done. And actually, really quickly, we want to unlink those. For those, we actually want to have a lever, just like so. That right there is the entire AFK farm design done. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. And all we need to do is simply unanchor this part and start flying this right before the very first stage. So right about here. That right there is perfect. So we're going to jump out. We're going to die. And now we have everything ready for our AFK farm. So we're going to select all of this stuff right here. All right, it's already anchored off. Perfect. And so we also need collision to be off. And now all we have to do is simply flick this lever. And as you can see, all of this stuff is going to start spinning. And now when we go AFK, we just need a little bit of an auto clicker to make sure we don't get AFK kicked. But as you can see, the second we respawn, we get teleported, we go through 2 stages, and we pretty much make a decent bit of money. Now, of course, right now, we're getting very far from the maximum amount of gold, but that is totally fine, because you actually only have to use this AFK farm for maybe like 1 day. Because then, it's about time to build the most Giga Chad AFK farm that's ever been built in Build-A-Boat. And you might wonder how I know this, and that's because I designed it. Now, something that is quite important is that this AFK farm is very expensive. It's like 100-something thousand gold to build it. But trust me, after you've made it, it is going to take no time at all to make that money back. So as you can see right here, we have the exact same thing we just built, but we're going to be adding something to it. And that will be the first AFK farm that doesn't require any setup. All you have is these little units right here that will actually make you the money, and a bunch of pistons that will move every single piece to the exact right stage. Now, to set it up, all we need to do is simply flick lever 1, boom, just like so. And the moment that we have the light turn on, we can unanchor everything. So right now, it's just doing its magic. All right, the light is turned on. We select all, we unanchor. And now we just simply flick lever 2, just like so. And that right there is the entire AFK farm set up. We're not going to have to do anything else. Everything is ready to go. The second we die, we're going to start getting into our AFK farm. And we're going to be making a bunch of money. And not only just that, we are also going to be getting a gold block every single time. So as you can see, We get into the portal. Oh, wait, this is my old farm. Uh-oh, my old farm still exists. I have to get rid of it. I think we will be good now. Yeah, you always want to make sure to clear your old AFK farm, or you're going to have something like that happen. But now everything should be good. So we're going to head into the first portal. Then we're going to slowly roll into the second portal. Then we're going to go into the third portal. And then we go all the way to the end. And of course, we even touch the end chest, getting ourselves a juicy gold block, as well as 111 gold. Now, of course, 111 is not the maximum amount of gold, but actually, there is something pretty important about that number, and that is that we're going through every single stage that is guaranteed to never kill us. There's actually a lot of stages in Build-A-Boat that have a very high chance of breaking your AFK farm, which can never happen with this design. Now, of course, this AFK farm is pretty involved. It takes quite a lot of stuff to build it, especially a lot of pistons. But trust me when I say this, it looks a lot more complicated than it is. Actually, building this is pretty flippin' easy. So you can break this farm down into 3 very easy to make parts. First off, we have the teleportation chamber. So if I delete all of these blocks, just to make sure that I can't fall out of this thing, as you can see, building it is quite simple. We're just simply going to clone a wheel by 5 studs over. So we're going to set this to 5, clone this over just like that. Then we're going to set it to 1 and move it 1 stud down. And pretty much you want to repeat this pattern on 2 sides for an entire little unit, making sure to have 5 wheels. And then all you need is simply having a portal that will drop you down onto the conveyor belt and also want to take you out of the conveyor belt. But one thing that is quite important is that you place glue blocks just like so to make sure that the wheels are actually glued to its base. And of course, you can add a couple blocks around it to make sure that you can't get out of this thing. But actually, you don't really need these. You will pretty much never fall out of it. Then next up, all you have to do is simply build the tube that will drop you into the end chest. And actually, building this is incredibly simple. It's just an incredibly long glass tube that is obviously hollow in the middle that we will attach to the very end of our build, making sure to attach it with 60 pistons so that way we can pull it all the way down. And yeah, just somewhere in here, you're gonna need to place a portal to actually teleport you to it. And then you will need to build what is probably the craziest looking part of this entire thing, and that is this piston tape that will actually push everything into the correct stage. Now right here, we have 972 pistons, all of them set to exactly 1010. So that way you can pretty much copy the exact distance that I needed to use to get to the end. And actually something that is pretty noteworthy is that these blocks right here are at the very end of my plot. So then what you will want to do is you will want to attach these units right here. The first one needs to go exactly 204 pistons in. The next one will go 272 pistons in. And then this final unit will go 827 pistons in. And actually, if you just simply copy those exact numbers, you can recreate this exact farm. And then all you need to do to finish it up is to build a specific delay setup to activate everything in the right order. So first off, we have one lever, and all this lever is going to do is to just simply activate every single one of these pistons. And then actually, I have a delay block that is set to like 20 seconds or something that will pretty much just turn on this light to tell me to unanchor the entire farm. Then after we've unanchored everything, what we need to do is we need to flick the second lever, and what that does is it actually activates every single one of the glue blocks. And then after about 10 seconds, it will turn on every single one of the wheels, including this one right here. And if you do everything in that exact order, you will have built yourself what is truly the most incredible AFK farm of all time, because all you need to do is simply flick a lever, wait for a light to turn on, unanchor everything, and as you can see, flick the next lever and we are completely done. Now, I do understand that this is quite a complicated farm to build, so if you want to make this exact farm, I did a live stream where I built every single thing about it, and pretty much if there's anything you need to know, you can just watch the VOD and you will know exactly everything I did. And let's just say that if you do all of those things, you will be quite the Giga Chad.